I quit my job before I even started working. I thought I'd start this video with like a little context, just kind of a flyover of like who I am, what I'm doing, so that if you're new, you have the context. If you're returning, it's just a little refresher. I started making YouTube videos in 2019 in Wichita, Kansas when I moved back home because of the pandemic. I've posted sporadically over the last several years. I graduated from college in June of 2022 from Western Washington University. I did journalism. And then I moved down to Florida in August for the Disney College program, where I worked in attractions for the next 8 months. Following my time with the Disney College program, I moved back to Kansas, where I worked at a zoo for about 10 months. I didn't like the job as much as I thought I would, and I just didn't feel like I had a good sense of community there. I didn't have a good group of friends that I was consistently hanging out with while I was in Kansas. It was very isolating. I mean, shout out to my family for hanging out with me, but sometimes I need to hang out with other people in their 20s. So I decided to move back to Florida because I still had friends down here. And I really missed working at a theme park, believe it or not. When I first decided that I was going to move back to Florida, I did not have a job lined up. I did not have a job lined up when I put in my 2 weeks at the zoo. My plan was to always move to Florida without a job lined up, and I would just get a job when I landed. You might think that's stupid or brave or whatever, but I get no street cred for that. First of all, my parents did that a bunch when they were in their 20s. They just kind of moved around. And second, I'm the fourth of my cousins to just move out of state and be I'll figure it out when I get there. I'm old news doing this. However, in the time between me deciding to move back to Florida and actually moving back to Florida, I decided to reapply to work at Disney World again. I worked in attractions on my college program, but I decided that returning, I wanted to work in merchandise, because when you're merchandise, you can pick up hours more easily than you can when you're attractions. And I also wanted to try something new, so I figured merchandise would be a good place to go. So I reached out to Disney, spoke with a recruiter, reapplied to come back in a merchandise position. The camera's angled very high. I'm going to angle it a little lower. In the 2 weeks between when I put in my 2 weeks notice and when my actual last day of work was, I did get an email from Disney with an offer to work part-time in merchandise, which I accepted. And then in late February, I moved down to Florida with my cat, Akasha. She's napping in the background. The job offer did not say where I would be working, just that it would be part-time in merchandise. So there. Now if you are new, you have the context, and if you're returning, you've been refreshed. I quit that job in merchandise within 48 hours of getting the email with my role location. When I applied to work merchandise, I thought that I would be working retail. No. I got my training schedule, and I was not going to be in a store. I was going to be working behind the scenes in a warehouse receiving packages for Disney Springs, which is not what I had imagined, but I thought, you know what? That's okay. Because the way that Disney works is that after 6 months, you can put in a request to change locations. So I figured, you know what? I'll do the warehouse for 6 months. Maybe I'll really like it. And if I don't, I can request to be moved somewhere else. However, this was a third shift position. All of my training was from midnight to 8 a.m. It's important to note, I did not apply for a third shift position. I thought that maybe this was a mistake because typically third shift positions are ones that you specifically apply for. Everyone that I know that does or has ever worked third shift at any position, it was a specific thing they applied for or requested to be transferred to. So I thought it was weird that just right off the bat, I'd been placed in a third shift position. So I called the training number on my training schedule. I emailed them. I reached out to casting at Disney. I reached out to the recruiters I had spoken to when I was applying. And it wasn't a mistake. I was going to be third shift. I had put full availability when I applied, which meant I was okay being placed in third shift, I guess. I had assumed that full availability, like when it said, are you able to work at night? I thought it meant late into the night. Because I know when I did my college program, all of my roommates were merchandise, and sometimes they would get off work at like 3 a.m. or later. So that's kind of what I assumed, was that when I said I was okay to work nights, it meant like the store is closing late and you will be here an hour or two after close. Like when Disney does their late night events, the park is sometimes open until like 1 or 2 a.m. And then if the shop is open for like an additional hour or two after that to get everything closed, then yeah, I'd be getting home at like 3 or 4 on occasion. And that's what I thought this was in reference to, but apparently not. I even asked if it was like just the training that was third shift and then I would work days. And no, I was going to be third shift. It was always going to be like a midnight to 6 or a midnight to 8 shift. I can't work third shift. So I asked what I can do about it, if I could be placed back on the wait list I had been on before I got hired, if it was possible to get transferred to a daytime shift or a daytime location. The solution I was given was that I could quit my job before I even had my first day of training and reapply to work at Disney World in 6 months. Because when you quit, you're placed on a no rehire hold for 6 months. So I quit. I'm not working third shift, especially for a part-time job. Are you kidding me? If my tone sounds like very casual or like blasé about the whole thing, just know that like this was a hard decision for me to make. I was really mad about it. I was really mad and I was really sad. I cried about it a lot, but I've made my peace with it. So although in my last few videos it has been stated that I will be working at Disney World, I am not officially working for the Disney company. I am, however, working for an affiliate company, or should I say companies. Yeah, that's right. I got 2 part-time jobs, baby. The first job I have not started yet. I start tomorrow. Half of the week I will be a part-time front of house employee at Gideon's Bakehouse in Disney Springs. If you've ever been to Disney Springs and you've seen like a line of people in the sun outside of a brick building, that was probably the line to get into Gideon's. It's a bakehouse that does cold brews and cookies and cakes, and people are obsessed with them. People love Gideon's. So I will be a bouncer for the bakehouse, letting in however many people are allowed to be in there at a time. I start tomorrow from the day that I am filming this, but the day that this video goes live, I will have completed my training. My other job is at the Art Corner in Disney Springs. This is an art shop. It's the only place on Disney property that sells art supplies. The main thing it's known for is caricatures and name works, but we also do spin art. It's where you sit on a bike and pedal and it like spins a canvas and you put paint on it. Here is a spin art that I made during training. The Art Corner also has a few locations within the Disney parks. There are kiosks at Hollywood Studios and at Epcot that I will eventually be trained to do, so I will technically get to work inside the parks, but currently I am just at Disney Springs. Because these are like affiliate companies, I will still get access to the parks. I still get an employee discount, I still get free parking, I will still get a self-admission pass that will let me into the theme parks. I've not received that yet. I won't receive it for like a couple more weeks, I think, is kind of what I've been led to believe. You have to be like, you know, established that you're working and you're not just gonna quit. But I've finished training, so you know, I like it. I'm gonna stay around. So that answers the question of what am I doing for employment down here in Florida. Now this next part of the video is specifically for you, viewer at home, that's not subscribed. If you are subscribed, you're welcome to stick around if you would like. Now, viewer of this video that's not subscribed. As I mentioned earlier, I've been doing YouTube on and off periodically for the last several years. Never with a goal. With YouTube, I have always just uploaded for the sake of uploading because I enjoy making videos. But now, I have a goal. In Central Florida is the Universal Orlando theme park. And in 2025, they will be opening their third park, Epic Universe. A section of this park, Dark Universe, will be themed to the Universal movie monsters. I love the Universal movie monsters, and it's going to be so stupid, crazy busy when that theme park first opens in 2025. I want to be one of the first people to see this section of the theme park, and I want to do it unencumbered by the masses. But that will only happen if Universal invites me to their media preview for Epic Universe. And that will only happen if I have established myself as an internet creator with a large enough following to justify them inviting me. So, if you want to make my dreams come true of being able to be one of the first people to see the Dark Universe section of the Epic Universe theme park, Universal Studios' third gate, in the year 2025, click that subscribe button. It's free. Join the Clout Convoy. Yeah, that's right. We've got a name now. Give it enough time, maybe it'll be merchandise. Why is it the Clout Convoy, you may be wondering? A convoy is a group of ships or vehicles traveling together, typically accompanied by armed troops, warships, or other vehicles for protection, according to Bing Dictionary. Yes, I use Bing. So you, viewer of this video, are my convoy. You're my ships and vehicles, and we're all traveling together to get to that media night preview in 2025. And clout, well, you know what that means. So, if you want to follow along with all my little adventures here in Florida, like I said, click the subscribe button, join the Clout Convoy. It's free. Share this video with people you think would like it. This is kind of a boring video to share, full disclosure. This is more of just like a life update. Maybe share one of the more sexy and exciting videos, like any of these. I'll put thumbnails on the screen. And links in the description. What do I do here? A little bit of everything. We do some gaming, we do some DIYs, we do some video essays, and coming soon, some vlogging. Spoilers, next week's video is going to be a vlog. So that's what's new with me. That's my little update as far as employment goes. I'm very excited for it. I really like my job at the Art Corner, and I'm sure I'll enjoy my job at Gideon's. I've already done like a lot of fun stuff just being down here, not even a month. I've broken bread with so many friends that, you know, I've been able to reconnect with since moving back down here, but also some new friends. I've gone to the movies a lot. I've gone to the theme parks. I've just gone to the resorts. I've just taken it easy, and I've been having fun. So if any of that sounds like stuff that you'd like to see, I've said it before and I'll say it again, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to give me a follow over on Instagram. You can find me at Bishop Byline. But thank you so much for watching. If you've stuck around this long, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Well, I won't see you, because that's not how YouTube works. You'll see me though. Okay, bye. So I live in an apartment building, and there are like no lawns, so I don't even know what's happening and why a mower's running.